At number 1, Sea of Stars shines as a modern pixel art RPG that feels like a love letter to classic 16-bit adventures while still playing amazingly well on PS5. You control two children of the solstice who can combine sun and moon powers in a turn-based combat system that rewards timing, smart positioning, and using skills in the right order. The visuals are stunning, with rich lighting, smooth animations, and detailed towns and dungeons that constantly change up the scenery so exploration never feels repetitive. The soundtrack and writing help sell a cozy but adventurous vibe, mixing lighthearted moments with more emotional story beats. Side activities like cooking, fishing, and small optional challenges give you reasons to slow down and enjoy the world between main quests. On PS5, fast loading and sharp resolution make every scene and battle feel extra polished, making Sea of Stars an easy recommendation for fans of classic JRPGs and beautiful pixel art worlds. At number 2, Chained Echoes delivers a deep, story-driven JRPG experience with retro-inspired visuals and a surprisingly complex battle system that feels perfect for long sessions on PS5. You follow a group of characters across a war-torn continent filled with airships, mechs, and magic, all presented with sharp pixel art and detailed backgrounds. Combat uses a unique overdrive bar that pushes you to switch skills, swap party members, and pay attention to enemy types instead of just spamming your strongest moves. Outside of battle, you customize builds through gear upgrades, skill choices, and party setups, letting you experiment with different strategies. The game moves at a brisk pace with minimal grinding and lots of meaningful story moments, boss fights, and dungeons to work through. Thanks to fast performance and clean visuals on PS5, Chained Echoes feels like a classic JRPG that has been carefully tuned for modern players who want both nostalgia and tight gameplay. At number 3, Dead Cells stands out as a fast-paced roguelite action platformer that uses sharp pixel art and smooth animation to make every run feel responsive and addictive on PS5. You play as a mysterious figure exploring a constantly shifting island, fighting your way through procedurally generated levels filled with traps, enemies, and secrets. Combat is all about quick dodges, smart weapon choices, and learning enemy patterns, with tons of different builds centered around melee weapons, ranged options, and powerful skills. Each run gives you blueprints and cells that unlock new gear, mutations, and paths, so even when you die, you feel like you are progressing and gaining more tools. The pixel artifacts, from explosions to elemental attacks, look especially crisp at higher resolutions, and the frame rate keeps the action silky smooth. With multiple biomes, bosses, and optional DLC content available, Dead Cells on PS5 offers huge replay value for players who love challenging, skill-based action in a stylish pixel world. At number 4, Celeste brings tight platforming and emotional storytelling together in a beautiful pixel art package that feels perfectly at home on PS5. You control Madeline as she climbs a mysterious mountain, facing both difficult levels and her own inner struggles through heartfelt dialogue and atmospheric scenes. The platforming is precise but fair, built around dashes, wall jumps, and smart use of momentum, with instantly responsive controls and quick restarts that make repeated attempts satisfying instead of frustrating. Each chapter introduces new mechanics, hazards, and visual themes, so the game constantly feels fresh while still building on what you have already learned. Optional strawberries and tougher B-side novels give hardcore players extra challenges without blocking story progress for more casual players. The combination of expressive pixel art, a memorable soundtrack, and clever level design turns Celeste into one of the standout 2D platformers on PS5, especially for players who enjoy mastering demanding but rewarding movement. At number 5, Hyperlight Drifter offers a mysterious, combat-heavy action-adventure with striking pixel art and minimal dialogue that leaves a lot for players to interpret. You explore a ruined, futuristic world filled with ancient technology, strange creatures, and haunting environmental storytelling, moving through interconnected zones that hide secrets and upgrades. Combat is fast and punishing, built around quick sword strikes, ranged attacks, and dashes that let you weave in and out of danger, so timing and positioning are crucial. The game does not spell out everything, instead letting you piece together its lore through visuals, cryptic scenes, and the layout of the world itself, which gives exploration a unique sense of discovery. Upgrades to health, ammo, and abilities help you slowly turn from a fragile traveler into a capable fighter, but regular enemies and bosses stay dangerous enough to keep tension high. On PS5, the crisp resolution and stable performance enhance the already bold color palette and clean pixel animation, making Hyperlight Drifter a stylish and atmospheric pick for action fans. At number 6, Stardew Valley turns farming and small town life into an incredibly relaxing and surprisingly deep pixel art experience that feels great to play on PS5. You inherit a rundown farm and slowly transform it by planting crops, raising animals, mining, fishing, and crafting new buildings and machines that expand what you can do each in-game day. The nearby town is full of characters with their own schedules, events, and storylines, giving you social goals alongside your economic and crafting progress. As you play, you unlock new areas, festivals, and community projects, so the world keeps growing and offering fresh things to do, even dozens of hours in. The pixel art style is cozy and colorful, with seasonal changes and weather effects that make your farm feel alive throughout the year. Combined with smooth performance and the option to play in short or long sessions, Stardew Valley on PS5 is perfect for players who want a chill but richly layered game that rewards planning and creativity. At number 7, Dave the Diver mixes restaurant management, lighthearted storytelling, and underwater exploration into a charming pixel art package that works surprisingly well on PS5. By day, you dive into the blue hole, catching fish, discovering ruins, and gathering resources while managing oxygen and dealing with sea creatures and environmental hazards. By night, you use what you caught to run a sushi restaurant, choosing menus, serving customers, hiring staff, and upgrading the business to earn more money and unlock new features. The game balances chill diving segments with busier management nights, creating a satisfying loop where both halves feed into each other. Its pixel art is rich with detail, from expressive character animations to colorful sea life and flashy special dishes, giving the whole game a lively and comedic tone. With side quests, mini-games, and a story that ramps up into some unexpected directions, Dave the Diver offers a fun, content-packed experience that stands out among PS5 pixel art titles. At number 8, Animal Well delivers a dense, atmospheric puzzle platformer with a unique, almost abstract pixel art style that invites slow, careful exploration on PS5. You play as a small creature navigating a massive, interconnected labyrinth filled with strange animals, hidden passages, and environmental tricks that often bend your expectations. Instead of direct combat, the game focuses on using items and smart movement to solve puzzles, avoid threats, and uncover layered secrets that are often nested within each other. The level design is meticulous, rewarding players who pay attention to small visual details, sounds, and patterns that hint at something more beneath the surface. On PS5, the subtle lighting effects, detailed pixels, and clean resolution make the world feel both eerie and beautiful, enhancing the sense of discovery. It is the kind of game that encourages curiosity and experimentation, making Animal Well a standout choice for players who enjoy exploration-heavy experiences with tons of secrets. At number 9, Blasphemous 2 is a brutal, dark fantasy action platformer with rich pixel art and heavy religious imagery that pushes both combat and atmosphere hard on PS5. You return as the Penitent One, fighting your way through twisted landscapes filled with grotesque enemies, elaborate bosses, and haunting background details. The combat system feels smoother and more varied than the first game, giving you different weapons, special moves, and upgrades that let you fine-tune your playstyle, whether you prefer slower heavy hits or faster combos. Platforming and exploration matter just as much as fighting, with interconnected areas, shortcuts, and hidden rooms that reward skillful movement and careful observation. The art direction and animations are detailed and unsettling, supported by a powerful soundtrack that sells the oppressive mood. With strong performance and sharp visuals on PS5, Blasphemous 2 is an excellent pick for players who like challenging side-scrolling action wrapped in a unique and unsettling pixel art world. At number 10, Infernax brings old-school action platforming with a modern twist, leaning into a grim, gory pixel art style and choice-driven progression that plays well on PS5. You control a battle-hardened knight returning home to find his land overrun by demons and curses, and your decisions and key quests can lead to different story branches and endings. Combat is intentionally simple but satisfying, centered on melee swings, jumps, and later magical abilities, with enemies that hit hard enough to keep you cautious. Exploration encourages revisiting areas with new powers to unlock hidden routes, upgrades, and secret content, giving the game a light Metroidvania feel. The retro presentation leans into chunky sprites, heavy blood effects, and a moody color palette that enhances the feeling of a corrupted medieval world. With multiple paths, optional bosses, and a mix of difficulty options, Infernax offers a nostalgic but polished experience for players who enjoy classic-style action games with meaningful choices. At number 11, Owlboy is a narrative-driven platformer that combines flight, exploration, and light combat with beautifully detailed pixel art that still looks fantastic on PS5. You play as Otis, a mute owlboy who can fly freely around large vertical areas, carrying different companions that each bring unique abilities to puzzles and battles. The game emphasizes exploration and storytelling over raw difficulty, letting you soak in the world's floating islands, cozy towns, and mysterious ruins at a comfortable pace. Combat is built around positioning and the abilities of your allies, so swapping characters and using the right tool for each situation keeps encounters engaging without overwhelming you. The art direction is one of its strongest points, with expressive character sprites, layered backgrounds, and smooth animations that make every new area feel handcrafted. Combined with heartfelt writing and memorable set pieces, Owlboy stands out as a touching, visually impressive pixel art adventure on PS5. At number 12, Vampire Survivors brings incredibly addictive, horde-based auto-attacking gameplay wrapped in simple but effective pixel art that runs extremely well on PS5. You choose a character with a starting weapon and then survive as long as possible against ever-growing waves of monsters, collecting experience gems to level up and pick new weapons or passive upgrades. The challenge and fun come from build crafting during the run, combining weapons and passives into powerful evolutions that can cover the screen in projectiles or area attacks. Each stage has its own enemy patterns, hazards, and secrets, encouraging repeat runs to unlock new characters, relics, and permanent upgrades back at the menu. While the visuals are intentionally basic, the sheer chaos of late-game screens filled with effects and enemies has a charm of its own, especially at smooth frame rates. The quick runs, constant unlocks, and satisfying power curve make Vampire Survivors a perfect pick-up-and-play pixel-style game for PS5 owners who enjoy simple mechanics with huge replay value.